順やね。何個かありますか。順や使います。ライトです。あ、そうまで。誰か持ってないですか。ない。あります。今あります。貸してください。
제29회 WBSC 기장 세계 청소년 야구 선수권 대회 7회차에 이곳 기장 현대차 드림볼 파크를 찾아주신 여러분을 환영하며 감사의 말씀드립니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome and thank you for attending today's game at Dreamworld Park in Gijang City for the WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup 2019.
관중 여러분, 제29회 WBSC 기장 세계 청소년 야구 선수권 대회 캐나다와 일본 경기를 시작하겠습니다.
Today's competition features Team Canada versus Japan will be started.
양팀 선수단을 소개해드리겠습니다. 먼저 캐나다 선수단입니다.
Introducing today's lineup. First, the visiting team, Canada.
감독 그렉 해밀턴,
Major, Greg Hamilton.
코치 크리스 베그,
Coach, Chris Beck.
코치 조형,
Coach, Hyung Cho.
코치 로버트 카탈,
Coach, Coach Robert Partar.
일본 타자 마이클 맥도웰.
Batting first, Michael McDowell.
이번 타자 다산 브라운.
Batting second, Dassan Brown.
3번 타자 TJ 스코필드 샘.
Batting third, TJ Schofield Sam.
4번 타자 오웬 디오다티.
Batting fourth, Owen Diodati.
5번 타자 시저 발레로.
Batting fifth, Cesar Valero.
6번 타자 노아 홀.
Batting sixth, Noah Hall.
7번 타자 오스틴 고.
Batting seventh, Austin Gong.
8번 타자 라파엘 펠티에.
Batting eighth, Rafael Peltier.
9번 타자 엘라이자 하밀.
Batting ninth, Elijah Hamill.
투수 데오 밀라스.
Today's starting pitcher, Dio Melas.
그의 예비 선수들입니다.
And the rest of Team Canada.
이어서 일본 선수단입니다.
For Team Japan, today's home team.
감독 유지 나카타.
Manager, Yuji Nakata.
코치 무네모토 나카이.
Coach, Munemoto Nakai.
코치 오사무 히라카와.
Coach, Osamu Hirakawa.
코치 타카이로 코바리.
Coach, Takahiro Kowari.
1번 타자 케이트 모리.
Batting first, Keito Mori.
2번 타자 류세 타케오카.
Batting second, Yusei Takeoka.
3번 타자 요야 니라사와.
Batting third, Yuya Irasawa.
4번 타자 타카야 이시카와.
Batting first, Takaya Ishikawa.
5번 타자 토요 쿠마다.
Batting fifth, Toyo Kumada.
6번 타자 히로야 미야기.
Batting sixth, Hiroya Miyagi.
7번 타자 준야 이시.
Batting seventh, Junya Nishi.
8번 타자 쇼마 사카시타.
Batting eighth, Shoma Sakashita.
9번 타자 신노스케 야마세.
Batting ninth, Shinnosuke Yamase.
투수 야스노부 오쿠가와.
Today's starting pitcher, Yasunobu Okugawa.
그의 예비 선수들입니다.
And the rest of Team Japan.
다음은 동경기를 진행할 심판위원을 소개해드리겠습니다. 주심 미국의 존 플라네겐, 1루심 니카라과의 리프레도 몬토야, 2루심 뉴질랜드의 조슈아 웨스러, 3루심 한국의 김대남, 이상 4분께서 수고해 주시겠습니다.
Today's umpires are home plate Mr. John Flanagan from USA, first base Mr. Wilfredo Montoya from Nicaragua, second base Mr. Joshua Wessler from New Zealand, third base Mr. Kim Dae-nam from the Republic of Korea.
캐나다와 일본의 국가가 연주되겠습니다. 때는 모자를 벗고 기립하여 국기를 향하여 주시기 바랍니다.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand and remove your caps as we play the national anthems of Canada and Japan.
먼저 캐나다 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
First, the visiting team, Canada.
이어서 일본 국가 연주가 있겠습니다.
And then the home team, Japan.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark in Gijong-gun in the Republic of Korea, and the final game of day number 1 of the Super Round of the 2019 WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup. As we got a matchup between the world's number 1 and number 10 this evening as Japan matches up with Canada. Hi everybody, my name is Tyler Long. Great to have you alongside for this one on a warm and humid but dry and blue skies day. That is something that we have not seen for a few days here at Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark. But tonight, set to go under pretty clear skies overhead and ready for this matchup between the Group A participants. Canada coming out of their tough group to make it to this round, made it across with an 0-2 record. They're really in a must-win type of spot, and they will go up against Japan, which comes into the Super Round with a 1-1 mark against fellow Super Round teams from its play in Group B. Here's how things look for tonight's visitors. The squad from Canada, as announced by manager Greg Hamilton, who's out for the home plate meeting right now with Yuji Nagata, the manager of this Japan squad. Micah McDowell leading things off, Dasan Brown right behind him, then TJ Schofield, Sam, the latter two of those three already in their professional careers overseas in the United States. Owen Diodati, the designated hitter, bats cleanup. Then Cesar Valero in the 5 spot. Noah Hull will follow him. Austin Gomm, the shortstop. Rafael Pelletier, the catcher. And Elijah Hamill rounding things out, the 15-year-old second baseman for Canada. Greg Hamilton, he and his squad going through a tough Group B, or Group A rather, and finishing at 3-2 overall, but their 2 losses were to the other 2 teams that advanced from Group A with them, and that is the host nation Korea and Australia. Australia has already fallen today, and so has Korea, so an opportunity for Canada And tonight's visitors can get a victory. Miyagi, Mori, and Nishi, left, center, and right for Japan. Ishikawa, Takioka, Sakashita, and Nirasawa, third to first in the infield. Yamase behind the plate. And there was a lot of buzz in this ballpark this afternoon when a rumor started going around that Yuji Nagata, the manager of this Japan team, was set to go with Ruki Sasaki, who is the phenom on this roster. There were a lot of people thinking that, based on some things that they had observed with how Japan had kind of structured things coming into today, that Sasaki would take the mound for his first start of this tournament. We have not seen him yet. He will not go tonight. So Japan will go with its other ace. That is Yasunobu Okugawa, and he will be throwing balls and strikes in the direction of John Flanagan, our home plate umpire from the United States of America. Wilfredo Montoya from Nicaragua is at first base. Joshua Weschler, the New Zealand representative in our umpiring group, is at second, and Dae-Nam Kim from the Republic of Korea is over at third. Yasunobu Okugawa making his first appearance of the tournament, and a right-hander who is fresh off of a whole lot of usage in the 2019 Summer Koshin competition back in Japan, but also is set to go off after a decent amount of rest. Okugawa threw toward the last few days before he and his team left to come here for this 2019 U18 Baseball World Cup. There you get a look at the bracket where we sit right now, the 6 Super Round teams. Korea, Canada, Australia, all those coming out of Group A. Japan, the United States, and Chinese Taipei coming out of Group B. The United States and Chinese Taipei have already emerged victorious today. Japan will try to make it a 3-game sweep for Group B teams. As you look at the updated Super Round standings, Australia, Chinese Taipei, and the United States all at 2-1. Japan remains at 1-1. Korea drops to 1-2, and Canada will try to set it up with 3 teams in that 1-2 slot if tonight's visitors can come away with the victory. Yasunobu Okugawa kicks the left leg and deals his first pitch fastball, blistered in there at 6:04 in the evening. And we are underway here at Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark. That first one already showing off some of the velocity of this right-hander, who reportedly has at times sat 97. Some reports have put him at 99 miles per hour. That would be up around 160 kilometers per hour thereabouts. We may not see that, but he's been nearly 92 on these first 2 fastballs, and he gets the first one out of the zone into Micah McDowell, the leadoff man for Canada, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Micah McDowell, Canada's right fielder, he is a committed collegiate baseball player in the United States at Oregon State University, and he's blown away on a fastball, the first one atop 151 kilometers per hour. That is just about 94 miles per hour.
Now batting number 8, center field.
And with 1 out, Dasan Brown steps into the batter's box, the Toronto Blue Jays prospect. First pitch breaking ball dives in there to Dasan Brown. Brown, a draft selection of the Toronto Blue Jays this past year, or this past summer, I should say. 3 months ago, he was selected by his home nation's Major League squad in the top level in the United States and Canada. 3rd round draft selection was Dasan Brown, challenged on an elevated fastball, blown by him, and Okugawa's having fun already. Just coming with mostly straight heat and overwhelming the first couple of guys he has seen. Brown from Oakville, Ontario in Canada, and the center fielder checks his swing, holds up. That one popping out of the mitt of the backstop, Shinosuke Yamase. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That was the hardest pitch we've seen so far today at 152 kilometers per hour. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, drops in the hammer, and he gets Dasan Brown. So back-to-back strikeouts, kicking things off for Yasunobu Okugawa. Okugawa pitched for Serio High School in Summer Koshin. I believe his last appearance in Summer Koshin was August 23rd. And this team coming over here to open up the competition on the 30th. First pitch ball into TJ Schofield, Sam. Okugawa and Serio as this ball laced into center field. That'll touch down for a base hit. TJ Schofield, Sam gets Canada into the hit column here in the top half of the first. Solid single. Right back out to center, and the Oakland Athletics draft selection and prospect puts himself aboard for Owen Diodati, the DH. Okugawa and his Serio High School team fell to Ricacea High School 5-3 in the Summer Cochin final last month. He actually pitched a complete game in that game and reportedly struggled with his command a little bit. Gave up a 3-run homer in the third, which erased an early 1-run Serio lead. And then a tie ball game in the 8th at 3-3. He surrendered the lead on a double, a sacrifice, and a single as Ricacea tacked on another on the way to the 5-3 victory in the final for their first Cochin crown. But Okugawa, that was the end of a week plus of a ton of work for him. We'll talk about that as the evening rolls along. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2-out single for TJ Schofield, Sam. That is a sight you should get very used to tonight with radar guns and photographers and all kinds of people excited to see this right-hander, Yasunobu Okugawa. Okugawa ready. 1-2 pitch on the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Owen Diodati. Owen, a collegiate baseball commitment to play at the University of Alabama in the United States. One of the big guys, literally and figuratively, in this Canada lineup. Lights have yet to come on here at Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark at the main stadium. Over on field 2, the lights are on already. 2-2 pitch on the way. That one bounced foul, first base side. Got to get a new bat. Owen Diodati. Lights now slowly starting to come on, just past 6 o'clock in the evening here on the Korean Peninsula. Diodati will head back to the left-handed batter's box and climb in against this right-hander. First to check on the third baseman in this Canada lineup, batting out of the 3 spot, TJ Schofield, Sam. So Ruki Sasaki, the rumors were maybe he was going to get the nod tonight. 2-2 pitch into the dirt. All of a sudden, back-to-back quick strikeouts to get this inning started the single. Now a full count here, and Okugawa nearing 20 pitches in the opening inning. Three ball, two strike count on Owen Diodati. Pitch on the way. Blew it by him, third strikeout of the inning as Okugawa fans the side. Two-out single does no damage. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Canada scoreless and Japan coming up.
캐나다 스위치를 말씀드리겠습니다. 투수 데오 밀라스, 포수 라파엘 펠티에, 1루수 노아 헐, 2루수 엘라이자 해밀, 3루수 TJ 스코필더스, 유격수 오스틴 고, 좌익수 시저 발레로, 중견수 타사 브라운, 우익수 마이카 맥도웰. 이상이 대만수비단은 캐나다 스위치였습니다.
On defense for Team Canada at the bottom of the first inning, pitcher Daryl Millas, catcher Rafael Peltier, first base Noah Hall, second base Elijah Hamill, third base TJ Schofield Sam, shortstop Austin Gum, left field Cesar Valero, center field Tassan Brown, right field Micah McDowell.
Beautiful evening in the Republic of Korea as we are headed to the bottom half of the first inning, and Japan's starting lineup, as announced by manager Yuji Nagata, looks like this. Keito Mori will lead things off, then Yusei Takioka, the shortstop, and Yuya Nirasawa, the first baseman. Those are the three due into the batter's box in this opening inning. Takaya Ishikawa, the third baseman, will clean up. Toya Kumada, the designated hitter, bats in the 5-hole. Hiroya Miyagi, the left fielder, will bat 6th. Junya Nishi in right field hitting 7th. Shoma Shikashita, the second baseman, bats 8th, and Shinosuke Yamase, the catcher, will round things out for Japan. Defensively for Canada, outfielders that cover a ton of ground. Cesar Valero in left field, Dasan Brown in center, and Micah McDowell in right. TJ Schofield Sam at third base, Austin Gomes at short, Elijah Hamill at second, Noah Hull at first. Rafael Pelletier is behind the plate. And Theo Millas takes the mound after a rough start to this tournament in which he got the ball on Sunday against Korea, gave up 7 straight hits and 6 runs in the bottom of the first inning on the way to an 8-5 Canada loss. But 2 days later, I give Greg Hamilton a lot of credit for this. Put him right back on the mound in a relief appearance on Tuesday against Nicaragua, and Theo went out in an inning and a third, no hits, no runs, no walks, struck out a pair. First 3 pitches a little elevated to the leadoff man, Keito Mori. 2-1 is the same, and all of a sudden it's 3 balls and a strike. Three-one high for ball 4. And a 5-pitch walk starts things as Mori is on, a leadoff base runner for Japan in the bottom of the first.
Now batting number 2, shortstop Yusei Takeoka.
That brings up Yosei Takeoka. Takeoka so far in the tournament, 2 for 16. Just a 125 average through his team's first 5 games. Nice breaking ball that bends under the offered bunt. I guess he did take it back at that last second. Doesn't matter, the pitch is called for a strike. 1-1 on the way, and the bunt is down first base side. It'll be Hull making the play to his covering second baseman Hamill. And a sacrifice 3-4 putout puts Keito Mori in scoring position
Now batting number 5, first base,
with 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Here's how these two teams got here in this 2019 edition of the WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup. Day one of the tournament, Canada knocked off China in a big show of its impressive offense. 17-3 was the final on that one in 7 innings. Japan had a scare put into it by Spain. Trailed Spain 2-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning, but rallied for a 4-2 victory. That was on Friday, August 30th. Last Saturday, Canada beat up on the Netherlands 11-0. Japan did the same to South Africa 19-0. Those games shortened by the run rules. And then Canada had its tough day on Sunday as this ball's bounced up the middle. Nice stab on the backhand by Hamill, who hustles the throw to first in time. Nirasawa retired. Mori will take third base, so it's a productive out moving the base runner. And with 2 outs, brings up Takaya Ishikawa.
Third base, Takaya Ishikawa.
Canada took that tough loss to Korea 8-5 on Sunday, in which they allowed 6 runs in the first inning, had 17 hits and left 14 on base, and took the loss. That same night, Japan had its biggest win of the opening round when it romped over the United States 16-7. Monday, the rains came. Canada was rained out against Australia, a game made up yesterday. Japan played that night against Chinese Taipei, and in the 5th, Chinese Taipei scored a couple of runs just before the rains arrived again. So that game was final and official after 5 innings as a 3-1 Chinese Taipei wins. That was Japan's only loss of the opening round. Canada knocked off Nicaragua on Tuesday, 9-0. Japan beat Panama 5-1. And then yesterday, a heartbreaker for Canada, a 7-6 loss to Australia. And that finished off the opening round for this Canadian side as Takaya Ishikawa takes a 2-out walk. He's aboard. And it's first and third now with 2 gone for Toyo Kumada.
Now batting number 8, designated hitter Toyo Kumada.
First pitch fastball there at the knees to Toyo Kumada. So the final standings in the groups. The overall best record in Group B going to Japan. Four and 1 mark. Group A, Canada finishing 3-2. Korea finished 4-1 in that group, but Australia came into the day today with the top overall mark among Super Round teams at 2-0, having beaten both Korea and Canada in the opening round. The only 2-0 team to come out of opening round play. 4 1-1 teams and 1 0-2 team. That 0-2 team is Canada. So Canada cannot afford a misstep here in the Super Round. 1-2 pitch just off the outside part of the plate. Might have been a changeup away from Theo Millis. Japan, the United States, and Chinese Taipei all at 4-1, but all of those losses to each other. Round robin losses. Japan beat the US, US beat Chinese Taipei, Chinese Taipei beat Japan. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Bounce right side. It'll get out to Hamill, covering the bag. Millis, great job to get over there and be on the receiving end of that throw, and that retires the side with the threat neutralized. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 left on for Japan. We'll head to the second inning, all scoreless after 1 in Gijon.
쇼핑 중. 이거 어때? 너한테 완전 딱이다. 완전. 야, 태기, 이거 공연해? 공연하면서 방송 중.
파이브즈의 시작. 듀얼로 제대로 즐기다. LG V50.
Thank you.
To the top of the second inning we go, scoreless after one. Good first couple innings of work for our starters. Yasunobu Okugawa on the Japan side, climbing the hill again to get set to face 5, 6, and 7 for Canada. Theo Millis on the other side, working around a couple of walks in the first inning for Canada. And Cesar Valero, the left fielder, will lead things off for the guys in gray tonight. First pitch breaking ball to him there for a called strike over the outer part of the plate. Cesar Valero Sanchez, his full name. He is, like his teammate Micah McDowell, his outfield mate. He is a commit to play his collegiate baseball at Oregon State University in the United States. Cesar was actually born in Venezuela, but moved to Canada when he was a kid. He calls Calgary home in the Canadian province of Alberta. 1-1 pitch on the way to him. Good breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Cesar intends to study sports medicine at Oregon State University. He's ready to go on 1-2. Okugawa comes home to him. A fastball on the outside corner. That is the fourth strikeout of the 4 outs recorded by this right-hander. And the leadoff man has gone in the second. Strikeouts are something that Yasunobu Okugawa is extremely familiar with racking up. He lost that matchup to Risesha High School 5-3 in the Koshien, the summer Koshien final just a couple of weeks ago. Told you about that. But he also saw that team earlier this year in the Spring Invitational at Koshien. And in a complete game, a 3-0 victory, he struck out 17. And this is a guy who, like a lot of young phenom pitchers in Japan, he throws a lot. Throws a lot of innings, a lot of pitches. In the first round of Koshien, the summer competition this year, is Noah Hull able to fight that pitch away. It's 1-2. 94 pitch complete game. 5 days later in the second round, Okugawa came back and threw 39 pitches in 2 1/3. 3 days after that, a 165 pitch, 14 inning complete game. 1-2 breaking ball, misses away. 3 days after that, 87 pitches in 7 innings in the semifinal. And then in the final, a 127 pitch complete game on 1 day of rest from that semifinal game. Okugawa was working mostly low to mid-90s. Topped out at 94 miles per hour in most of those games in Koshien. Now, during the qualifiers, he was reportedly up to about 97, and there are reports that he's been clocked as high as 99 miles per hour. And you can see he's got no issue with the braking stuff either. He has struck out 5 of the first 6 he has faced. Only TJ Schofield Sam able to reach against him.
Now batting number 27, shortstop Austin Gom.
And with 2 outs and the bases empty, it brings up the shortstop Austin Gom. First pitch there for a strike to Gom. Austin so far in this tournament, guy who's seen a lot of time at the shortstop position for this Canada squad. Pretty decent offensive start. 6 for 19, couple of doubles, a triple, 8 runs batted in. That actually matches a team high, along with TJ Schofield Sam. 1-2. That is a check down at first, and the 6th strikeout in 7 batters for Yasunobu Okugawa. Masterful start to this game through 2 innings. We'll go to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Canada and Japan all scoreless in the Republic of Korea.
At the bottom of the 2nd inning, now batting.
Back at Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark, we are on the main field tonight for a super round matchup between the world's #1 from Japan and the world's #10 from Canada. Back inside the broadcast booth. My name is Tyler Maughan. Scoreless through an inning and a half. First pitch fastball is up high to Japan's leadoff man here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Hiroyo Miyagi, he's the left fielder. Junya Nishi, the right fielder, about right behind him. And then Shoma Sakashita, the 2nd baseman, due up 3rd in the inning. That is Theo Millis, who gets the nod tonight for Canada. Worked around a couple of walks in the 1st inning. He has been missing elevated with basically everything so far. And he's up and away on ball 4. Another leadoff walk, 2nd straight inning with 1 to get this game started. The concerning thing about a guy who's missing up is
16, right field, Junya Nishi.
you leave too many pitches up. If you start working them into the strike zone, you can get hammered. The thing that you can work with is it's generally a mechanical fix that guys can make relatively simply. A lot of times early on in starts, especially big games like this, there's a bunt down first base side, and this is going to get the job done. A sacrifice bunt for Junya Nishi. Wondered if there was a chance that ball was going to go foul. And Noah Hull, first baseman, couldn't really let it roll for long because Junya Nishi flying by him. So, walk, sacrifice bunt, same start to this inning as it was last inning, and it brings up Shoma Sakashita, second baseman. First pitch there for a strike, fastball. 0-1. Runner bluffs from second. That's a good block by Rafael Pelletier, the Quebecois catcher behind the plate. Shoma Sakashita from Tomoku Gakuen High School. His favorite baseball player, Jose Altuve of the Houston Astros in Major League Baseball in the United States, and he skies this one in the air to left field. Making the call and the catch, Cesar Valero. And 2 gone with Shinosuke Yamase, the 9-hole hitter coming to the plate for Japan. This is the start on the other side right now that Theo Millis is trying to match. Strikeout, strikeout, single, strikeout, 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 strikeout. So far for the fantastic right-hander on the other side. And this is something that you would never see from a Western team in these Baseball World Cups, and we see this a lot from teams from the Asia region especially, but this is a guy, a starting pitcher in Yasunobu Okugawa, who is cruising right now through his first 2 innings, and he's currently in the bullpen throwing. Now, I guess there is a chance this ball torqued down the left field line, moving over toward the line. What a catch by Cesar Valero, and the inning is over. Scoreless after 2. We'll go to the 3rd in Gijon. Top of the 3rd inning at Gijon Hyundai Dream Ballpark. That guy in the center of your screen is left fielder Cesar Valero, who just saved this scoreless game, preserved it to end the 2nd inning with a diving catch down the left field line, robbing Shinosuke Yamase of an RBI, extra bases, and giving his team the lead here in the early innings at Gijon Hyundai Dream Ballpark. Top half of the third inning is where we are right now. It's 8-9-1 for Canada. Catcher Rafael Pelletier leading things off. Swings and fouls that pitch into the screen. He's into an 0-2 count. Pelletier from Quebec, the Canadian province. Elijah Hamill right behind him. He's the second baseman, batting out of the 9 spot, who has been fabulous in this tournament for his team. Just 15 years old, but Hamill coming into the day today batting .412 in this U18 Baseball World Cup. And Micah McDowell, the right fielder, back at the top of the order. 0-2 pitch. 6 strikeouts of 7 batters faced so far for Yasunobu Okugawa. And the interesting thing will be how long Yuji Nagata elects to let him go in terms of his pitch count in this game. The 2 fouled back, because there are restrictions based on the amount of pitches thrown. And depending on if Okugawa went up over 105, the pitch is off of the outside part of the plate. It's 1-2. That would basically eliminate him from pitching for the final should Japan reach it. Now, we have not had a single player go over the limit that requires beyond 1 rest day. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 of 8 batters. And Okugawa has seen as Pelletier has gone on strikes. Here's another look at that diving grab by Cesar Valero down the left field line. You can tell he is, if not he is one of the emotional leaders for this team, because he got up, and there it is. All the energy in the world from that guy, and he is infectious. You can tell the attitude, the positivity, the energy about him. That flows through his teammates, and what a fun player to watch. He covers so much ground in left field, too. And the thing is, you've got him in left because you've got a guy in Desan Brown in center who has 70 to 80 grade speed on the MLB scouting scale. That's as good as it gets. And Micah McDowell in right runs fantastically well. So 3 guys in the outfield who are a no-fly zone of coverage. 1-1 pitch on the way, and Hamill crushes one to center field, charged it, but it's right at Keito Mori. That is just the second ball put in play and the first out on a ball in play. So the first time through the order, Yasunobu Okugawa, strikeout, strikeout, single, strikeout. That started a string of 5 straight, and then the fly out to center. Back at the top of the order, and McDowell. One ball, 1 strike. Micah McDowell finding himself in a 1-2 count. He struck out swinging to lead this game off in the first inning. 1-2 is just off of the outside corner. Okugawa, I think, thought he had it, but he'll head back up the hill. Two-two pitch. Swung on and missed. 8 strikeouts in the first 10 hitters into the box against Yasunobu Okugawa. And we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. An impressive start for both of these teams on the pitcher's mound and defensively. And we are scoreless through 2.5 in Gijon.
the bottom of the third
Bottom of the third inning, we'll go back to the top of the order for the world's #1 Japan. Keito Mori, the center fielder, will lead things off, and Yusei Takioka and Yuya Nirasawa, the top third of the order. Set to get things started. Mori waiting on a teammate heading into the bullpen on the third base side as he steps into the batter's box, and the first pitch is on the way to him. Ball one up high from Theo Millis. Millis from British Columbia. This one laced through the right side. A leadoff single. It is 3 straight innings now with leadoff base runners for Japan. Walk in the first from Mori, walk in the second from Miyagi, and now Mori back at the top of the order, singles through the right side of the infield.
Now batting number 2,
And that brings up Yusei Takioka. Takioka trying to be the next sacrifice bunt in this Japan lineup. Sacrifice bunt for him in his first trip to the plate was back in the first inning. Can't lay it down. Pulling the bat back on the breaking ball. 2 balls and no strikes. This game is a rematch of the bronze medal game from 2 years ago when Canada played Japan on home soil in Thunder Bay, Ontario for the bronze. 2-0. Bunt down first base side. Noah Hull gets it to Elijah Hamill.
Now batting number 3, third base. First base, Yuya Nirasawa.
So 1 out, Yuya Nirasawa. Out of the 3 spot in the order. There's a swing and a little looper out to second base, and Elijah Hamill making the grab.
Now batting number 3, third base, Takaya Ishikawa.
So Mori remains at second base, and now it's 2 outs. Ishikawa out of the cleanup spot. Walked in his first trip to the plate in the first inning. He was left aboard at first. He lifts this one down the left field line. This is hooking, and it will just sneak over that netting. Cesar Valero, he runs out of that hat a good amount. That's what happens when you got that speed. Hats can't stay on. Can't keep up. Valero gave a good chase of that. He was shaded a little bit more toward left center than he is right now. Time called by the catcher Pelletier. Millis home on 1-1. Nice block back there by the backstop. If Japan does not score in this inning, then next inning we're going to have to start having the run probability and sacrifice bunt discussion. It's 3 straight leadoff base runners followed by sacrifice bunts. First 2 times it didn't work out for Japan. Third time, still undetermined. Runners off the pitch, and oh man, if Pelletier could have come out with that cleanly from his glove, I think he's got Mori dead to rights over at third, but he didn't. Fumbled it out of the glove, and a stolen base puts Mori at third with 2 gone. Mori did not get the greatest jump, and Pelletier was up so quick. He's got him hosed, I think, if he can get that ball out of his glove cleanly. And Mori runs well, but no throw. So 3 balls and a strike now on Ishikawa. And a pop-up foul. Full count now. Pitch number 45 upcoming from Millis on the way. Over to third. Schofield Sam. Inning over. Through 3 scoreless. We go to the middle third of this game. Canada and Japan, all zeros from Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark in the Republic of Korea.
캐나다 공격. 이번 타자 중견수 다산 브라운.
At the top of the first inning, now batting number 8.
Top of the 4th inning. Headed back to the pitcher's mound, Yasunobu Okugawa, who has been nothing short of spectacular the first time through this Canada lineup, +1. 9 hitters went to the plate the first time through the order. 7 of them struck out. And then the 10th hitter that he faced was Micah McDowell with 2 outs and the bases empty in the 3rd, and he struck him out for good measure too. So 8 strikeouts through the first 3 innings for this right-hander. And Canada sending 2, 3, and 4. Dasan Brown leading things off. Brown, the center fielder. TJ Schofield Sam, the third baseman. Owen Diodati, the designated hitter. 0-2 breaking ball into the dirt. It is pretty amazing the amount of scouts, the amount of radar guns, the amount of giant cameras that we've got behind home plate tonight. They came to see a lot of talent, but this young guy Okugawa certainly stands out in that group. Shinosuke Yamase doing some good work behind the plate as well. Whenever you talk about how great a pitcher has been, you kind of forget more often than not to give credit to his battery mate as well. But Yamase has called a great game here through the first 3+. Okugawa on 2-2, kicks and comes home to Brown. And this is just off the inside corner with a fastball a little bit too far in. Count is full now. 3-2 on the way. Nice job by Brown, spoiling another tough one. Dasan Brown started his professional career already with the only minor league baseball team in Canada, the Vancouver Canadians of the Class A short season Northwest League in the Toronto Blue Jays organization. 14 games there this year, 3-2. Swing and a miss. He's gone on strikes. K number 9 for Yasunobu Okugawa. And leadoff man is gone in the fourth. That'll bring up TJ Schofield Sam, who is one of only 2 hitters to make contact against this right-hander, and he's got the only hit of the day for Canada so far. That was, I believe, a first pitch single back in the first inning. Schofield Sam, like his teammate Brown, back-to-back players in the order, and both of them professional baseballers already. TJ Schofield Sam, drafted by the Oakland Athletics in this year's Major League Baseball first-year player draft in the 12th round, as he finds himself in an 0-2 count here. From Mississauga, Ontario, he made his professional debut, 22 games between the rookie-level Arizona League A's clubs. He swings and misses on 0-2. 10 strikeouts. That is the first, I believe, first double-digit strikeout effort of the tournament. And Okugawa is looking like a guy who's got a video game set on a difficulty level that's too low right now. He's fanning everybody. Good pitch face from Okugawa. First pitch breaking ball down and in to Owen Diodati. Diodati struck out to end the first inning. Lays off the breaking ball on 1-0. Okugawa comes up with the 2-0 curveball and spots it where he wants it. Righty kicks and comes home again. Diodati fires the hands a little late. Diodati was drafted this year in the 29th round of the Major League Baseball first-year player draft, also by the Toronto Blue Jays like Desan Brown, but did not sign. He'll go play collegiate baseball in the United States. 2-2 crushed to right. Warning track, wall, gone! Goodness. Not sure what the velocity was on the fastball coming in, but it sure went out a lot harder as Owen Diodati leaves the yard and gives Canada a 1-0 lead in the fourth. Oh, man. Kept that ball above the belt, and Owen didn't miss it. That has got to feel pretty incredible. Pitcher on the other side has seen 12 hitters and struck out 10 of them. And your team is now leading because of that swing. This is a weird sport sometimes as Cesar Valero steps in. So 1-0 Canada now. Breaking ball gets the outside corner. Valero struck out looking, leading off the second inning. And Okugawa, by the way, I don't know if we have a replay of his reaction. He, I think, tipped his hat to the Canada dugout on the first base side and actually had a pretty big smile on his face after that homer. 0-2, just off of the outside corner with the fastball. Like, hey, man, I came at you with my best and you beat me. What am I going to do? Location probably wasn't exactly where Okugawa wanted it, but Diodati gives his team the lead. Valero trying to extend this inning. 1-2, swung on and missed, and that will retire the side. Strikeout number 11, but the 2-out homer by Owen Diodati, and Canada carries a 1-0 lead to the bottom of the fourth in Gijon.
3차 일본 공격. 5번 주력타자 토요 쿠마다.
Going to the bottom of the 4th inning, a 1-0 lead for Canada, thanks to that smiling dude in the back of your shot. Owen Diodati, the designated hitter, cranks a solo home run over the right field wall with 2 outs in the top of the 4th inning. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. Theo Millis with a run of support set to go to work against Japan's designated hitter, and Toyo Kumada takes ball 1. 1 ball and no strikes. Kumada, his first trip to the plate, grounded out to the right side of the infield on actually a 4-1 put out. It was a good job by Millis to get over. Here's that shot off the bat of the big guy Diodati. Now, you didn't see it on that replay, but evidently it looks as though Owen Diodati may have missed home plate coming home. Now, there's nothing that can be done about that now. This ball skied in the air to right field. Coming in is Micah McDowell to make the catch. But had Japan caught that, there's another look at that blast. That was a shot. I mean, that's an elevated fastball, and that takes a big, strong dude to fire the hands and turn on that. Diodati, that's a little bit after he crossed home plate, but that was Justin Thorstenson, by the way, over jumping out of the dugout to celebrate. But maybe Owen Diodati got away with something because he might not have stepped on home plate. But Japan did not appeal. We had a moment in the early game today, the early Super Round matchup between Chinese Taipei and Korea, in which Korea had runners at first and second. Player laid down a sacrifice bunt in the person of Ji-Chan Kim. He was called out at first base, and replay showed that he was very much safe. And for whatever reason, Korea did not challenge that play. Would have been bases loaded, nobody out. Instead, it was second and third, 1 out. And Korea ends up falling. May not have made a difference in that game, as Korea took the loss by a final score of 7-2. Hiroya Miyagi takes the 0-2 pitch up and away, a ball and 2 strikes. Japan in each of its first 3 innings got a leadoff base runner aboard, and then tried to go the sacrifice bunt route. This one back to the mound. Little fumble there from Millis. Still get the out. Sacrifice bunts, I remember us talking about this a lot in the U18 Baseball World Cup 2 years ago. There's another look at Okugawa's reaction. That ball just torched out over the right field wall, and you can't see it on that angle, but obviously a pretty fired up Owen Diodati. And Okugawa taking the hat off and tipping it to that first base dugout. This is what I had started to talk about before that diving catch that ended the second inning from Cesar Valero. That's a starting pitcher going into the bullpen to throw during his start, something that you would never see from the Western countries. Canada wouldn't do that, United States, Australia, but pitchers on this Japan squad, Chinese Taipei, we see a lot as well. Korea, is this ball trickle foul, third base side. They keep throwing during starts. You get into the dugout, waiting around while your team is at the plate. And it's not as though Okugawa was going into the bullpen and slinging 100%. He's just keeping the arm loose and working and flowing and moving. But that is the thing that I love and have always loved most about international baseball, the differing philosophies, the differing styles. That's Yuji Nagata, the manager of this Japan squad, in the third base dugout. Theo Millis tries to end the fourth. No swing, says Wilfredo Montoya, our first base umpire. As the count is full on Junya Nishi, the right fielder, batting out of the 7 spot. Millis, home on 3-2. In the air to center field. A late jump for Desan Brown, and that one's going to dunk down. That may have gotten down anyway, but Desan, I don't think, saw that coming off the bat. Took an extra second for him to react to it. And Japan's got a 2-out base runner here in the 4th.
Now batting number 7, second base.
Son may have gotten to that if he had seen it off the bat, but there goes a 2-out single for Junya Nishi. But Japan, in these first 3 innings, this ball skitters through the legs of Pelletier. That's going to go as a pass ball. I'll put Nishi in scoring position. Japan had leadoff base runners in the first, second, and third, sacrificed them to second base with bunts. Now, there's so much discussion about the sacrifice bunt across baseball, and giving up one of your 3 outs and whether or not that is worth it. Here are the numbers, and this is over tens of thousands of Major League Baseball games. These numbers have been compiled. With a runner on first and nobody out, your expected runs for that inning is 0.86 runs. You're expected to score 0.86 runs. It's basically how often and the amount that teams will score. The probability that you don't score is 57.6%. As Vin Scully would always tell you not to start a story with 2 outs, and that's why. We'll continue when we get to the top half of the 5th inning. 1-0, Canada leads it through 4 in Gijong. Top of the 5th inning, Canada with a 1-0 lead over Japan back at Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark here in the Republic of Korea. A gorgeous Thursday night as we get set for Canada to send 6, 7, and 8 in the top of the 5th. The difference in this game, with 2 hits apiece up on that board, one of them swing off the bat of Owen Diodati, Canada's designated hitter, a solo homer over the right field wall. That's the only tally in this game. First pitch breaking ball there for a strike to the towering first baseman for Canada. Noah Hull tries to go the other way with a pitch and chops it out to short. Takioka will throw him out. Takioka seems surprised to see that ball come in his direction. That is just the 2nd out on a ball in play in this game for Canada. Fly out to center field by Elijah Hamill in the 3rd, and that 6-3 ground out here leading off the 5th. We're talking about run scoring probability when it comes to sacrifice bunts, and the likelihood that a sacrifice bunt actually hurts you rather than helps you after a leadoff base runner gets to first. With a runner at first and nobody out, the likelihood that you will not score in an inning is 57.6%. 57.6% of the time you will get no runs in that inning. With a runner at second and 1 out, that probability actually goes up to 59.39%. Now, it is worth noting, while your chances of scoring multiple runs in an inning drastically drop, your chance of scoring 1 run in an inning is there is strikeout number 12 for Yasunobu Okugawa. Austin Gaum is retired. Your chances of scoring 1 run in an inning jump up about 6%. So if you're playing for just one run, all right, that's something. Your probability to score 0 is still overwhelmingly more at nearly 60%. But that's what's so interesting is we see so often Japan and to an extent Chinese Taipei and certainly Korea, they'll go with the sacrifice bunt approach. And I remember us discussing this in 2017 at the U18 Baseball World Cup in Thunder Bay, that it just seemed like it so rarely worked the way it was hoped it would work. Canada hasn't really had any opportunities to do that. They've only got 2 hits, but one of them was a 2-out solo homer last inning from Owen Diodati. One-two swung on and missed. Strikeout number 13, and a frustrated Rafael Pelletier is thrown out at first, and the 2-3 putout sends us to the bottom of 5. Canada with a 1-0 lead over Japan despite the mastery of Yasunobu Okugawa. We're headed to the bottom of the 5th inning in Gijon.
Now batting number 10, catcher Shinnosuke Yamase.
Bottom half of the 5th inning, 9-1-2. Japan set to send to the batter's box against the right-handed Canadian starter Theo Millis, who has been really steady, really solid through his first 4 innings of work. Theo, 62 pitches, and you probably would not expect a 2-hit shutout through 4 innings when you consider that with this being pitch number 64, he has now thrown 34 balls to 30 strikes, but he has stranded 5 on the base paths. And Millis, working with a 2-0 count, deals home 3 balls and no strikes. He also issued leadoff walks in the 1st and 2nd innings, allowed a leadoff single in the 3rd. None of it burned him. Japan laid down sacrifice bunts after all 3. That pitch is there for a strike. And talking about expected run probability with sacrifices last inning, it hasn't worked so far for Japan. 3-0 is ball 4. 3rd time in 5 innings that Japan has worked a leadoff walk. 4th leadoff base runner of the night. And we'll go back to the top of the order and Keito Mori. Mori from Toho Gakuen High School. Got into baseball because his brother played when he was a kid. Started playing at 8 years old, and here 9 years later. now a member of his country's national team for the World Cup. I'm not sure what exactly this conversation is. If there is a blister issue right now with Theo Millis, there must be. The home plate umpire, John Flanagan, actually seemed like kind of called to the dugout to Canada's pitching coach, Chris Begg, to get him out, and everything appears to be okay with Theo Millis. Pointing to the middle finger, that's oftentimes a blister issue hot spot. Kind of interesting that the home plate umpire, John Flanagan, was the one as that pitch kicks off of the backstop Pelletier, and a good job to get to it. Holding the runner at first. Keito Mori back at the top of the order. We'll see if he tries to lay down the sacrifice. It's at least second time, maybe third time we've seen Pelletier just kind of whiff on a pitch from his right-hander as Mori swinging away. So maybe Japan will try to go the other route after 3 sacrifice bunts have not helped him cash in any runs in the early going in this game. Check on Yamase. Work being done down the right field line in that Canada bullpen. That's Evan O'Toole. 1-1 pitch. It's a cool moment there. Pelletier dropping his mask to check on the runner, and Keito Mori picked it up for him. 2-1 on the way from Millis. And that one will move the runner up. There may be an issue with this finger because Theo Millis continues looking at it, and the command has disappeared here in the 5th. So Yamase moves into scoring position on the wild pitch, and it looks like that right middle finger. Theo Millis trying to battle through this right now. Working with a man in scoring position for the 3rd time in 5 innings. And a man on for the 4th time in 5 innings. And the 3-1 into the dirt puts runners at first and second now. So Keito Mori, good speed on as the trail runner. And Yusei Takioka will step in. Takioka, no official at-bats so far tonight. He is, as we will get a visit to the pitcher's mound now from Greg Hamilton, the manager of this Canada squad, and I think that's going to be the end of the night. It will be, it might have been an injury visit that first trip to the mound, but this one is a replacement. So, Canada will go to the bullpen. They'll bring on Evan O'Toole, and we'll tell you about him when we return. 1-0, Canada leads it here in the 5th.
2, shortstop.
Third relief appearance of the 2019 U18 Baseball World Cup for right-handed pitcher Evan O'Toole, who steps onto the mound in place of Canada's starter Theo Millis. Millis exits this game after kind of a strange line. He is charged with 2 runners on right now. He gave up 2 hits over 4+ innings. He walked 4. He did not strike out a batter. And yet, his team's got the lead at 1-0. Shosuke Yamase back in. Pick play on at second base, but nothing doing. O'Toole, an inning and 2/3 of work against Korea and Australia. 2 hits, no runs allowed, a strikeout and no walks. And his first pitch, bunt down third base side. O'Toole gets to it, goes to the bag at third and throws it up the line. That's gonna bring home at least 1. We are all tied up on the error. The second he let that ball go, O'Toole knew it. He threw his head back. And the attempted sacrifice bunt results in a misplay, and we're all level at 1-1.
Now batting number 5, first base, Yuya Nirasawa.
And now a chance for Japan to really break this open. O'Toole just took maybe a second too long in getting to that ball, and then had to try to hustle the throw to third to get the lead runner, and he spikes the first pitch in to Yuya Nirasawa, a ball and no strikes. Canada's infield comes in as we're all level at 1 run apiece. One-0, bounced up the middle, that's into center field, a base hit. Nirasawa will plate Mori on the heels of the leadoff center fielder. Takioka will put on the brakes at third. It's an RBI single for Yuya Nirasawa, and it's a 2-1 Japan lead in the 5th. Two pitches into this relief appearance, and Evan O'Toole, who had been so good, he's been victimized to give up a couple of runs. Canada's right-hander trying to get another ball on the ground, but hopefully at somebody, as Takaya Ishikawa takes a first pitch fastball for strike 1. One breaking ball stays high. Ishikawa coming into the day today, 7 for 14 in the tournament, 2 doubles, a home run, 8 runs batted in, 9 runs scored, an OPS of a decent 1489. He's got 4 walks and a hit by pitch in this tournament as well coming into today. He's 0 for 1 with a walk this evening. His 5th walk in 6 games. Great breaking ball there from O'Toole. Evan comes set. 1-2. Foul tipped into the glove. Great job by Pelletier to hang on to that one. That's a big first out here in the 5th. That is the first strikeout for Canada pitching today.
Now batting number 8, designated hitter,
And
Toyo
just
Kumada.
fooling the third baseman from tonight's home team, as Ishikawa kind of trying to step across the plate to get a good swing at that ball. And here is Toyo Kumada. Not sure who called time there. Might have been the backstop Pelletier. Rafael now stepping out to go over the defensive alignment with his infield. 2-1 our score. Toyo Kumada 0 for 2. Grounded out to the right side in the first inning. Flew out to right field in the 4th. He ended an at-bat with that or ended an inning rather, with that first at bat and led off an inning with the second one. Here he is with one out in the middle of this bottom of the 5th. Takioka at third, Nirasawa at first. 1-0 bunt, foul, trying to squeeze home the third run of the inning. Takioka, that was kind of a safety squeeze, I think. Takioka did not start really coming down the line until Kumada made contact with that ball. You could see in that replay, not real pleased with the contact that he did make. 1 ball, 1 strike. O'Toole would love a double play ball here. 1-1. Back foot breaking ball, almost literally. Kumada got his left foot out of the way of it. 2 balls and a strike. Kumada 6 for 15 in the tournament with 7 RBIs coming into tonight. 2-1. Bunt popped up. They get the out and a double play. Thrown back behind the runner. 2-5 goes the double play, and the foul out on the bunt off the bat of Kumada ends what could have been a huge inning for Japan. But tonight's home team grabs the lead, and we go to the 6th. Japan 2 and Canada nothing.
6번 타자 이루수 엘라이자 하밀.
Going to the top half of the 6th inning in a good one here at Gijong Hyundai Dream Ballpark in Gijong-gun in the Republic of Korea. It is a one-run game again, but instead of the 1-0 Canada lead that held from the top of the 4th through the top of the 5th, it's now a 2-1 Japan advantage. 2 runs in the bottom half of the 5th inning in a crazy inning that featured just 1 hit, an error. And a wild double play to end that frame. 9-1-2 getting things started for Canada here in the top of the 6th. Elijah Hamill, the 15-year-old second baseman who has been a star at the plate in this tournament so far. Hamill coming into the day today, a .412 batting average, .444 on base percentage, and .588 slugging percentage. And he's able to hold off on 1-2. Thought that pitch might have been low, but it's there for a called strike 3. And Yasunobu Okugawa, the storyline tonight, he keeps dealing. That is strikeout number 14 for this Japan right-hander out of 16 outs recorded. The only outs on balls in play. Fly out to center field off the bat of Hamill for the 2nd out of the 3rd inning, and a leadoff ground out to shortstop from Noah Hull. It is no balls and a strike back at the top of the order on Micah McDowell. 80 pitches now for Okugawa as McDowell flares that one off the facing of the Japan dugout. He has just been in advantageous counts the entire night. 0-2, 1-2. Seems like everybody has found themselves in a 2-strike count, which I believe all but 1 or 2 at-bats have. And that right-hander warming in the Japan bullpen is the guy who a lot of people are here to see. And not sure if this is a move that's going to be made or if he's just throwing right now, but Ruki Sasaki, a phenom in Japan, just like Yasunobu Okugawa. Sasaki has not pitched once in this tournament, but he is overthrowing now in the 3rd base bullpen. Just left the bullpen and went back into the dugout. Looks like to get something. He's headed down the steps, but that is pretty interesting if the first test for him is coming out of the bullpen in this game. Strikeout number 15. Micah McDowell goes down swinging. What an unbelievable night for Yasunobu Okugawa. I don't know if you can line up a start any better than this for day 1 of the Super Round. It's always the debate of how do you structure your staff when you've got a few days, that fastball way up and in on Deshaun Brown. Okugawa waves an apology to Brown. How do you structure your staff? Having to play 4 games in 4 days, wanting to obviously save your best arms, at least in some capacity, for a chance at World Championship final appearance perhaps on Sunday. But Okugawa has been unbelievable. 1-1 just away to Brown. Two-one pitch. Breaking pitch. That one does come back in and nab the inside corner. Two-two swung on in, missed. Strikeout number 16 of 18 outs recorded for Yasunobu Okugawa. And again, Canada is gone in order. Out of 6 innings, he has now struck out the side in 4. And we go to the bottom of the 6th, Japan with a 2-1 lead over Canada. Bottom of the 6th inning, a 2-1 lead for Japan over Canada as we move along in the final Super Round game of day number 1 of the Super Round here, the 2019 WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup. Japan will send 6, 7, and 8 to the batter's box.
Number 17, left field, Hiroya Miyagi.
Hiroya Miyagi setting to lead things off. Home plate umpire John Flanagan just ushering some people back into the dugout on the first base side. Actually, got kind of an obstructed view, can't see who is out there. Might have been on both sides, actually, just making sure that everybody's back into the dugouts and in the netting. Dugouts here at Gijang Hyundai Dream Ballpark Field number 1 are not actually that big. I think the dugouts on the second and third fields are bigger dugouts, but it's kind of got a neat function, at least from the standpoint of those of us here watching these games, that it forces everybody up to the front of the dugout. And most of the time, guys are going to be up at the front of the dugout cheering on their teammates anyway in these World Cup tournaments, but it's kind of cool to see these teams all up on that front step. As Evan O'Toole, into his first full inning of work, comes home and pours in a fastball on 3-0 to make it 3-1. Canada played with fire. Leadoff base runners allowed for the first 5 innings to Japan on the other side, and finally it burned them with Japan bringing in 2 last inning. Shinosuke Yamase coming home on an error charged to Evan O'Toole right after he entered this game. And there is a swing and a miss by Miyagi as O'Toole comes all the way back from 3-0 to fan the Japan left fielder. Big pitch there, and it's 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting number 16, right field, Junya
That's a great shot. That high-speed camera on the third base side, getting that elevated fastball blown by Miyagi. So here's Junya Nishi, shoots this one right side. Elijah Hamill smoothly to it. 2 gone. And the bases are empty for Shoma Sakashita, the second baseman.
Now batting number 7, second base, Shoma Sakashita.
So the final line on Canada's starter in this game, Theo Millis, as of right now, unofficially 4 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, neither earned. 5 walks and 0 strikeouts. 1-0 pitch on the way is a little bit high. 2 balls and no strikes. Walked the last 2 batters that he saw. And still just a 1-run lead in this game for Japan. Japan's got the hit lead, 3-2. Japan hitters have only struck out twice versus 16 on the other side through 6 innings for Canada hitters, and yet this is a 1-run game with Canada 1 pitch away from going back to the bat rack for the 7th. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Good inning there for Evan O'Toole as he retires the side in order, trying to get Canada a little bit of momentum, breathing fire as he heads into that first base dugout. We head to the 7th, and will we see Roki Sasaki? We'll find out when we return. 2-1, Japan leads.
아, 내가 무슨 인싸야. 인싸지. 너도 인싸 될 수 있어. 거기서 봐. 그렇지. 잘했네. 잘 쳤다. 여기 돌았구나. 어디 먹었다. 올라가.
우와, 이렇게 돼? 진짜 신기하다. 우와, AI로 찍은 거야? 오빠 내 말 안 들려? 난 이런 거 안 돼.
이건 안 돼? 너도 5G잖아.
이런 거 다 하려면 뭐든지 비싸지.
아니, 난 5만 원대로 싹 다. 무제한으로.
5G 서비스부터 요금제까지 차원이 다른 5G는 U 플러스 5G.
난안 되겠네.
At the top of the 7th inning, now batting number 18, South base, TJ Schofield.
Heart of the order for Canada going to the top of the 7th inning, 3, 4, and 5. TJ Schofield Sam, the third baseman, will lead things off. Then Owen Diodati, whose solo homer is the only run on the board for Canada tonight. He's the DH, and Cesar Valero, the left fielder, due up third in this inning as Canada tries to solve the Rubik's Cube that has been Yasunori Okugawa tonight. Okugawa, 6 brilliant innings, 18 outs recorded, 16 of them strikeouts. Not a single walk. He's only given up 2 hits, 2 outs on balls in play. But he has started things off 2-0 on TJ Schofield Sam, who singled off of him with 2 gone back in the first. Roki Sasaki has been warming in that bullpen on the third base side. He continues to throw down there. There's a crowd of Japan fans that have gathered behind him, taking pictures and watching him throw. There he is, the young phenom. 2-1 bouncing ball foul, and Okugawa right into the count, even at 2-2. Sasaki, the comparisons for him are as high and as big as they get. He's been called the next Shohei Ohtani by more than one publication. And yet, where Ohtani had obviously such a bright future in both facets of his game as a pitcher and a hitter, Sasaki, most people think, is going to be best served to just go the pitching route. 2-2 pitch on the way from Okugawa. Strikeout number 17 as Schofield Sam can't catch up to it. 1 out here in the 7th. I don't care what level of baseball you watch or where, there are few pitching performances that you see that will compare to something like this. Yasunori Okugawa has retired 19 batters, 17 on strikeouts. Pitch up and away. A ball and no strikes to Owen Diodati. Diodati is the only one to crack Okugawa tonight. He cranked a solo homer back in the 4th inning that gave his team a 1-0 lead. He also may have missed home plate coming across, but there was no appeal. Didn't cause any issues for Canada as a breaking pitch is there for a called strike on 2-0. It's kind of funny, between the 5th and 6th innings we have that extended break as you get another look at the long ball to right. Diodati and his teammates celebrating. Will bounce this one right side, and that is just the 3rd out on a ball in play in this game. A weak rollover to first. 2 gone. But there's a baseball writer for the publication Fangraphs here, Sungmin Kim, and Sungmin and I were talking between innings, and I said on replay it looked like Diodati missed the plate, and there was a scout standing near us who said, "You sure about that?" And I said, "Yeah, there are people in the booth who looked at it who said it was pretty obvious." And he said, "I was positive when he came across that he missed it, and I thought they were going to appeal because I thought that Yamase had said something to tonight's home plate umpire John Flanagan, and then Japan did not go through the appeal." And it may not matter as Japan's got the lead now at 2-1, but an interesting moment nonetheless as Cesar Valero puts that one back to the screen. And the count is no balls and 2 strikes. Okugawa has crossed over the century mark, and he's trying to finish off his 18th strikeout here to wrap up the 7th. Right-hander ready. 0-2 on the way. Got it. Unbelievable. 21 outs, 18 strikeouts for Yasunobu Okugawa. And we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Japan's starter, brilliant. And his team leads 2-1 in Gijon. Got a pinch hitter set to lead things off here for Japan in the bottom of the 7th inning as Kei Mizukami will step in to the box in place of the starting catcher in this game. That is Shinosuke Yamase. Yamase departing and possibly a pitching change on the way with it. One would certainly think so. 103 pitches for this dominant outing tonight. Dominant doesn't even really begin to explain this start tonight from Yasunobu Okugawa. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 18 strikeouts, 103 pitches, 73 for strikes. As Evan O'Toole continues to work, he's on in his second full inning of relief out of the Canada bullpen. O'Toole retired the side in order with a couple of strikeouts last inning, but he issues a leadoff walk here in the 7th. That is the 4th leadoff walk issued by Canada pitching tonight. That'll send us back to the top of the order in Keito Mori. Now, Mori came up after a leadoff walk issued to Shinosuke Yamase back in the 5th inning, and he was swinging away. First 3 innings, we saw Japan get leadoff runners on. They sacrificed those runners to second base. But nothing came of those attempts to generate a run. So maybe a different tactic over the last couple of innings. Mizukani away from first, and the first pitch in for a ball. So Mizukami will go in behind the plate. One of the listed catchers on this Japan roster. 1-0 pitch low and in. Keito Mori has been an on-base machine out of that top spot in the lineup. Walk in the 1st inning, single in the 3rd, walk and a run scored in the 5th. He scored the go-ahead run in that 2-run frame for Japan, and it is 3 balls and no strikes to him now. Arm working in that Canada bullpen. Greg Hamilton trying to get his staff to hold the line at 1 run. 3-0 fastball grooved in for a strike. About 90 miles per hour from the right-hander O'Toole, and the count is 3-1. On the way to Mori. Low and in, ball 4, back-to-back walks, start things in the 7th, just like they did in the 5th for Japan. And the same 2 spots in the order did it. 9-1, so now here is Yusei Takioka. And with 1st and 2nd, nobody out back in the 5th, Japan did try to lay down that sacrifice bunt, and here they're not even going to have the opportunity to, as Greg Hamilton will issue the intentional walk to load the bases, and that number does loom pretty huge right now. Japan has not converted that often with runners on tonight, just that 2-run inning. And 7 left on as Greg Hamilton opts for the intentional walk, and he sends out Chris Begg, his pitching coach, to talk things over with Evan O'Toole. Nobody out in this inning. Right-hander throwing down the first base side is Eli Saul. So it's up to Yuya Nirasawa in this first at bat. Actually, check that. I had everything all mixed up. Thought that they had issued the free pass with the runners moving up to 2nd and 3rd. We're all kinds of screwed up around here. My mistake. It is still the 3 spot, or the 2 spot rather, in the order in Takioka. The sacrifice attempt back in the 5th inning came with a throwing error right after O'Toole had entered this game. Sent the throw up the line that scored Shinosuke Yamase as the wheel play is on defensively, and this one's skied left side. It's going to be a tough play for anybody, as steaming in, Cesar Valero is the one who's able to get to it, and first out of the inning recorded.
Now batting number 5, first base, Yuya Irasawa.
Sometimes you just witness phantom intentional walks. You get to day 7 of a 10-day tournament, doubleheaders every day, and you make stuff up mentally. So we got one out, first and second, as it's still Mizukami, the pinch hitter, who will go in behind the plate out at second base. Mori back at the top of the order. He's at first. One out. Pitch on the way. Low and in to Yuya Irasawa. Irasawa 0 for 2 to start his night, but then an RBI single up the middle back in the 5th inning that plated the second run, the go-ahead run of the day. Nice fastball there at the knees. The velocity has definitely ticked up. It feels like a little bit for Evan O'Toole over the last handful of hitters. Pitch on the way. Off of the outside corner of the breaking ball. Two balls and a strike. Big fastball blown by this left-handed hitting first baseman. Irasawa in there waiting. O'Toole kicks and comes home on 2-2, sends that one outside. And the count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Evan O'Toole, this is his second full inning of relief after coming on following back-to-back walks issued by the starter Theo Millis a few innings ago. Skied, shallow center, maybe shallow left center. It's the shortstop Austin Gom who makes the call on the grab. 2 outs on a couple of balls in the air here in the 7th.
Now batting number 3, third base, Takaya Ishikawa.
Back-to-back walks leading off this inning. And Takaya Ishikawa 0 for 2 with a walk. Trying to add some insurance on for Japan. They'll bounce one foul on the first pitch he sees. No balls and a strike. 0-1 breaking ball crushed to left field, but this is going to hook foul. That thing would have been way out of here. And Ishikawa frustrated that he swung a millisecond too soon as he tanked that ball down the left field line. Like a golfer watching his drive. Ishikawa sees it go foul. 0-2 on the way. Job just to get the hands to it. Right-hander home on 0-2, bounces this one, and that's going to send the runners moving up to second and third. So wild pitch puts 2 in scoring position now. It's Takaya Ishikawa. Trying to come through on a 1-2 count. His team with a 1-run lead. It has held since the 5th. Evan O'Toole trying to get back to the dugout with his squad. 1-2 pitch. Little flare out to short. On one hop, some weird spin to it. Austin Gum can't make the play. Both runs score. 4-1 Japan. That was a weird side-spinning orb that got out to Austin Gum. Kicked off the glove. And trying to field it on the backhand. Couldn't get it, and then couldn't pick it up with a bare hand either. And with 2 outs, both runners motoring immediately on contact, and that's what enabled Keito Mori to score from second. And Japan may have just pushed Canada out of medal contention here in 2019. 4-1 the lead. Japan's pitching staff has been so dominant tonight. Canada will go to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the new arm when we return.
Now pitching for Team Canada, 45, Eli Saul.
New arm to the game for Canada as we move along here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 2 runs across and a man aboard at first in Takaya Ishikawa, who reaches on a 2-run error charge to the shortstop Austin Gum, and right-handed relief pitcher Eli Saul will take over on the mound. So Evan O'Toole goes 2 2/3. 1 hit as of right now, a couple of runs, both unearned. Actually, they'll go as unearned regardless, but still responsible for that runner over at first. 2 walks, 3 strikeouts for O'Toole. Eli Saul, the new arm into the game for Canada. He's trying to keep his team close enough right now to get back into the dugout and go to work. Saul, this is his 3rd relief appearance of the tournament so far. 2 in the 3rd innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, a couple of strikeouts and 1 walk. 2-0 pitch is swung on and missed. This is a pinch hitter, by the way, into this spot for Japan. It's Joe Endo batting in place of Toyo Kumada. Two one away. 3 balls and a strike. Short lead from first for Ishikawa. 3-1, ball 4. That is the 8th walk issued by Canada pitching tonight.
Now batting number 17,
And
left
it brings
field,
up
Hiroya Miyagi.
Hiroya Miyagi, the left fielder. Miyagi 0 for 2 with a walk. Yasunobu Okugawa, according to a scout who was here tonight, mostly 88 to 90 miles an hour in the fastball, but did touch 93 at one point. Maybe snuck it up around 94. Flashed a plus curveball, great command. 1-0 pitch, fouled into the screen. That final line tonight for Japan starter, just ridiculous. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 16 strikeouts for Yasunobu Okugawa. 1-1. Fouled away, and the count goes in favor of Eli Saul at 1-2. Left-handed hitter is the left fielder, Hiroya Miyagi, and he gets drilled in the right leg. And that took out everybody. Miyagi, then it glanced off for Rafael Pelletier, the catcher. Oof.
Now batting number 16, right field, Junya Ishii.
This inning just won't end. Brings up Junya Nishi now. Bases are loaded, 2 gone. Japan trying to break it open by Nishi. First pitch fastball, fired in for a strike. It's 0-1. Nishi entering the night. Only 1 game's worth of trips to the plate, really. 3 for 4 in the tournament. But coming into this evening, 3 for 4, 2 of those hits home runs, 8 RBIs. An OPS, which this is like a statistical anomaly, of 2850. Because the slugging percentage 2250 and the on-base percentage 600. Nishi tonight, 1 for 2. Laid down a sacrifice bunt back in the 2nd inning. Asking that of a guy, 3 for 4 with 2 homers coming into the night. 2-1, foul tipped into the glove. And once more, Eli Saul is a strike away from getting out of this inning with just a 3-run deficit. Ruki Sasaki has been warming in the bullpen on the 3rd base side for Japan. Will we see the Phenom in the 8th? About to find out. 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now Eli Saul's got to come to him. Saul set from the stretch. 3-2. Ball 4. Walks in the 5th run of the night for Japan. They did appeal down to Wilfredo Montoya at first base, but he says no swing, and Greg Hamilton, his kingdom for a strike thrower tonight. That has been the most frustrating thing about this evening for Canada. Just unable to get consistent work in the zone from these 3 arms. 5 walks for Theo Millis, 2 for Evan O'Toole, now 2 in 3 batters faced for Eli Saul, who hit the other one with a pitch. And Shoma Sakashita the 9th man to bat in this inning, with his team out in front 5-1. 0-1, therefore a strike. Still 10 men left on base, double-digit runners who have been left on tonight, but Japan finally starting to break through in this game and capitalize on opportunities. Left runners on in every inning except the 6th. No balls, 2 strikes. It's all home on the 0-2 call, strike 3. He got Sakashita with a pitch over the outside part of the plate, and that retires the side. But Japan sends all 9 to the dish in the 7th and plates 3. We go to the 8th. Japan 5 and Canada 1.
일본 선수가 치겠습니다. 피처 슈토 이즈카, 피처 K 미즈카미.
Now pitching for team Japan, number 15, Shuto Izuka. Now catching 22, Kei Mizukami.
Top half of the 8th inning, new arm into the game for Japan, but it is not Roki Sasaki. So Shuto Izuka takes over on the hill for his team. I don't know, maybe Yuji Nagata's just having fun with everybody. The phenom young right-hander was working in the bullpen for the last couple innings, Roki Sasaki, but he will not get the ball as we go into the 8th. Maybe he would have had this game stayed at a 1-run margin, but with a little bit more breathing room, Japan goes to the pen and summons this righty Izuka for his 3rd appearance of the tournament out of the bullpen. Shuto Izuka, 3 innings, no runs on 3 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. Leadoff man in to face him here in the top half of the 8th inning is the first baseman Noah Hull. So the day is officially closed, and the line completely brilliant for Yasunobu Okugawa. His final line, as the 2-1 is there for a called strike. 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run, no walks, 18 strikeouts. He got 21 outs in total. 18 came via the strikeout. Matching the right-hander's age, and Yasunobu Okugawa departs, and the reliever Izuka trying to get number 19, and a foul ball keeps Noah Hull alive. That is Nori Sasaki, or Roki Sasaki rather, the second from the right on that shot. 2-2 pitch, skied, foul into the screen. So Roki, from what we have heard, the reason why we have not seen Roki Sasaki so far in the tournament, he's been dealing with a blister issue of some kind on his pitching hand. Talked to a couple of members of opposing teams who were all staying in the same hotel. All the teams are in one hotel. They said they've seen him in breakfast and walking around the hotel with a hand bandage. So an injury, maybe some gamesmanship, as a called strike 3 slips in at the knees. Noah Hull is gone. And hey, what do you know, another strikeout. That is the 19th on the night for Japan pitching, and leadoff man is gone here in the top of the 8th. That'll bring up Austin Gom, the shortstop. So an injury, maybe some gamesmanship. I think it is a certainty that we will see Roki Sasaki at some point very soon. And my gut tells me that it's going to be tomorrow against Korea. Big time matchup that Japan really will need to have in order to continue pushing its case for a World Championship final berth. Japan will get Australia coming up on Saturday. 0-2 pitch is bounced. Korea with its personnel doing some advanced scouting. This production crew, we talked about it from day to day. This group that we have from SPO TV has done such a phenomenal job over the last few days, and catching little things like that with the 1-2 sprayed in there at the knees. Back-to-back strikeouts. That is now 20 on the night for Japan pitching. And Rafael Pelletier will step in, trying to get anything started for his team, as Izuka has been fantastic through the first couple batters he's seen. Hat or no hat. So coming up tomorrow over on Dream Park Field number 2, Australia will take on Chinese Taipei. I'll be on the call for that game. Jason Schwartz will have the United States and Canada as the first of 2 rivalry battles tomorrow. Japan-Korea, the night game. 1-0. High. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 gone. There are 4 batters in the Canada order that have struck out 3 times tonight. Pelletier's got 2 strikeouts. He's also got a hitter's count at 2-0. Now 2-1. Pitch on the way from the righty. That's at the belt. Right in there at 148 kilometers per hour. About 92 miles per hour. Izuka kicks and deals. Went off speed on 2-2. Three balls and 2 strikes. Righty from the belt. Home on 3-2. Fouled away. So that's tomorrow's schedule. Then coming up on Saturday, Australia battles Japan in the early game on field number 2, and then the United States against Korea and Chinese Taipei, Canada at noon and 6. Here on Dream Park Field number 1, the main stadium back in play, thankfully. 3-2, shot out to second on a rope to Shoma Sakashita, and that will retire the side. That is just the 4th out on a ball put in play in this game for Canada hitters. 20 strikeouts for Japan pitching, and we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Japan will try to add on to this 4-run lead out in front 5-1 over Canada.
Mitchell Brett.
Now pitching for Team Canada, 22, Mitchell Brett.
New arm into the game for Canada as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. A 5-1 lead for Japan, and the left-hander Mitchell Bratt will take over on the mound. So 1/3 of an inning of work for Eli Saul, who scuffled a little bit, a couple of walks, a hit by pitch, but got a strikeout. And the first pitch delivered by the left-hander Bratt fouled back into the screen as Japan will send 9-1-2. Kei Mizukami, who led off last inning as a pinch hitter, went into the game behind the plate for the top of the 8th. Worked a leadoff walk in the 7th. Counts 0-2 on him here. Japan pitchers combined tonight. 8 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 20 strikeouts. 121 pitches, 85 for strikes. 1-2 into the dirt. Just an unbelievable night on the pitcher's mound for the starting pitching staff of the world's #1. Swinging a bouncing ball out to third, down to a knee. Schofield Sam to first. Low throw, great dig on the back end of that play. 1 out. I mean, this Canada team is a darn good team, and especially offensively. That's the thing that's really stood out about this Canada squad through the opening round of this tournament. Canada as a group offensively came into the day today batting .320 as a team. The 420 team on base, 424 rather, team on base percentage and a .465 team slugging percentage. They had scored 48 runs on 55 hits through their first 5 games. Canada had only struck out 31 times as a team in its first 5 games. And they had equaled that number with 31 walks as an offense. They have struck out 20 times tonight in the 24 outs that have been recorded against Japan's 2 pitchers. That is unbelievable. And yet, because it's baseball, they still got time to make something happen down 4 here in the 8th. Full count. Back at the top of the order on Keito Mori. That is incredible, though. 5 games, 31 strikeouts. Not even through a full game here tonight. 20 strikeouts. And Mori takes ball 4 outside. He's aboard back at the top of the order with his 4th walk of the night. 5 times on base for Keito Mori. And it brings up Yusei Takioka.
Number 2, shortstop, Yusei Takioka.
Takioka, a couple of sacrifice bunts in the first few innings, and discussed the pitfalls of the sacrifice bunt philosophy sometimes. Japan went that way the first 3 innings, leadoff base runner, sacrifice bunt, but didn't get anybody across in the first few innings. And then got a leadoff base runner in the 5th. Didn't go the sacrifice bunt route. They ended up getting 2 runs that inning. 3 across in the 7th. Swinging a blooper out towards second base. I don't know what on earth Kato Mori is doing, but he's way too far off the bag, and he's going to be doubled off at first to retire the side. A pop out for Takioka. 4-3 goes the put out back at the bag, and that closes down Japan's 8th. We will go to the 9th. Japan will try to wrap up a victory out in front of Canada 5-1 in Gijon. On to the 9th we go, and nothing but smiles in that third base dugout as the world's #1 from Japan has opened the super round of the 2019 WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup with a historic night on the mound. We go to the final inning of regulation baseball, and Canada still with some life, because that is how this strange sport works. 5-1 is the score. Canada has just 1 run on 2 hits throughout this entire game. They have struck out 20 times as a lineup, and yet they can get things going here. There's no clock in this game, and Elijah Hamill will try to start his team on the right note. Hamill 0 for 2, looking strikeout that started the 6th inning. He also flew out to center field back in the 3rd, and he is the 9-hole hitter in this lineup, but a guy who's done anything but hit like a 9-hole hitter in this tournament. Hamill 7 for 17 coming into the day today out of this spot. He has been spectacular. And he chops this one out to short. Tough hop, but a nice pick by Yosei Takioka. That was a strange one, at least from our vantage point here on the camera angle. It may not have been that weird of a hop, but looking basically directly down the bouncing path of that ball, Takioka kind of fielded it. I guess he smothered it right on that short hop. It looked as though he had stayed back too far on it, was going to have to field it on one of those strange in-between hops, but he gets it to first, and Hamill is retired. First out of the 9th inning. The way tonight has gone, this kind of tells everything, is, man, that pitch bounces up and gets home plate umpire John Flanagan. I'm not sure where exactly that hit him, but you could hear that reaction immediately, and hopefully that didn't get John up around the neck or anything. It got him in the side. No, right off of the arm. Thought maybe it snuck in the side of the padding, where the padding kind of wraps around but doesn't cover everything on the right side of the body. Got John right on the elbow, the inside of that elbow, and you see that moment with Shuto Iizuka apologizing with his bow to the plate. Umpires, the toughest dudes and the toughest women out there. And John Flanagan gets some spray, throw the mask back on. He is ready to go. That is unbelievable. Right off of the lower part of the right biceps. Oof. Be a nice bruise tomorrow. Flanagan's back in there. So is Micah McDowell, who faces a 1-0 count, and hits this one off the end of the bat to the right side. McDowell can fly, but Izuka beats him to the bag. 2 out. And the task falls to Desan Brown, the Toronto Blue Jays prospect, to try to keep this game going.
Now batting number 8, center field, Desan Brown.
Brown tonight, swinging strikeout in the first, swinging strikeout in the third, swinging strikeout in the sixth. Check that, the fourth and the sixth. And here he is in the ninth, trying to avoid a 4K night. Oh, 1 on the way to him. Shot foul the other direction. No balls, 2 strikes. Izuka trying to close out this win, and he sails one high. Kind of love that Shuto Izuka just can't seem to keep his cap on top of his head with his delivery. That's the old Jim Bouton trademark, the former major league pitcher in the United States, the author of Ball 4, never kept his hat on his head. 1-2 pitch is a little bit above the top border of the strike zone. Izuka thought he had strike 3. Trying to end this game on what else? A strikeout. 2-2. In the air. Center field. Keito Mori back in now in ball game. The first inning of the night in which Japan pitchers not only didn't strike multiple batters out, but didn't strike any batters out. And that is the only moral victory, perhaps, of this evening for Canada, thoroughly dominated by a brilliant night on the mound from 2 arms for Japan. Our final score, wrapping up day 1 of the Super Round of the 2019 WBSC U18 Baseball World Cup. Japan 5 and Canada 1. Coming up tomorrow, 3 more Super Round games, 3 more Consolation Round games. We'll get things started tomorrow morning, 10 o'clock, China and South Africa. That game, Consolation Round game, over on field number 3. 2 more consolation contests on fields 2 and 3. Panama, Nicaragua at 4. Netherlands, Spain at 6. And then the big ones, Chinese Taipei and Australia tomorrow at noon. The United States and Canada tomorrow at noon. And Japan and Korea in a rivalry showdown tomorrow at 6. We'll talk to you then. My name is Tyler Mon. Japan knocks off Canada 5-1. See you tomorrow from Gijong.
양팀 선수단을 소개해드리겠습니다. 먼저 이어집니다.
And the rest of Team Japan. 2.
スーパーラウンド初戦勝利しました永田監督です。お疲れ様でした。
どうもありがとうございま
した。今日試合振り返っていただいてどんな試合でしたでしょうか。
そうですね、野手陣がですね、もう一つこういう時に打てなくてですね、ミスも何個か出ましたんでね、ただピッチャーがよく踏ん張ってくれました。はい。
なんといっても先発の奥川君、7回18奪三振、素晴らしい投球だったと思います。
そうですね、もう本当に素晴らしいピッチングをしてくれました。はい。
今日の先発はいつ頃お決めになられたんでしょうか。
今日の朝ですね。今日の朝、本人には言いました。はい。
中田監督自身振り返ってどんなピッチングだったですか。
そうですね、甲子園の大会より以上のね、ピッチングをしてくれたんじゃないかなというふうに思ってます。
奥川君が投げ終わるところですね、佐々木君と、飯塚君がブルペンで準備されていました。飯塚君、佐々木君、決め手というのはあったんでしょうか。
いや、それはないです。飯塚、佐々木、そしてまた西もで宮城も用意してましたので、この辺りを踏まえて、どうしようかなというところで、用意はさせてました。はい。
明日韓国戦が待っています。大事な試合になると思います。意気込みをお願いします。
そうですね。まず先を見ずに一戦一戦できましたので、明日の韓国との試合しっかり頑張りたいと思います。
ありがとうございました。続いて奥川選手来ていただきました。お疲れ様でした。
お疲れ様でした。
今日久々の甲子園決勝以来のマウンドだったと思うんですけれども、振り返ってどんなマウンドでしたか。
実戦感覚も空いていて、すごく不安だったんですけど、しっかりゲームを作ることができてよかったかなって思います。
マウンドの感触としてはどうでしたか。
ブルペンでもこっちのマウンドで、投げてたので、苦労することは、なかったです。
7回18奪三振という結果についてはいかがでしょうか。
それはいいと思うんですけど、 ホームラン1本が本当に悔やまれるっていうか、中途半端にいってしまった球だったので、次、そういうことが起こらないように、やっていきたいなと思います。
7回ですけれども、マウンド行く前に絶対14球で終わらせるということをブルペンでおっしゃられたと思うんですけど、そのあたりの気持ちはどんな気持ちでマウンド上がりましたか。
104球以内っていうことを告げられていたので、次のピッチャーに、中途半端な状態で、受け渡したくないと思ってたので、絶対14球以内で終わらそうと思っていました。
他の投手陣でいうと奥川君をスーパーラウンドでマウンドに立たせたいということをおっしゃっていたと思います。その気持ちはいかがですか。
そういう思いも、受けての今日の登板だったので、プレッシャーっていうかすごく責任を感じてたんですけど、今日こうして、まずまずな、投球ができたことで、少し安心しましたし、また次、投げる場面が必ず来ると思うので、そこでもしっかり仕事ができるように、頑張っていきたいなと思います。
明日は登板はできませんが、大一番韓国戦になります。意気込みをお願いします。
投げなくても、できることはたくさんあると思うので、どんな形であっても、チームに貢献できるように、チーム一丸となって、明日も勝ちたいと思います。
ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございました。